Hey everyone, Hurdle here with Hurdle Gaming, and today we're going to talk about James Raynor, the Space Marine from StarCraft 2 and one of the primary heroes of Heroes of the Storm. I wanted to do a video about Raynor this week because I think he's kind of cool. He used to be very boring. He got this update and he's actually a hell of a lot more fun now. So, this is the Raynor video. Real quick, let's talk about the changes that he's undergone. Now he has a new trait that causes every fourth shot to do increased damage and also have like an AoE splash attack, which is actually really good. It has a little tracker under his health bar, which kind of lets you keep track of, how many shots until you get your free one. And this can be heavily talented to make you a hero hunter, which is awesome because it makes him a lot more dynamic. You have to time your shots and you have to basically aim for that fourth shot. His self-heal Adrenaline Rush is now activatable. It does not automatically activate like the trait used to do. It's pretty much the same thing, but now it's activatable. It makes him a little bit more dynamic. The only problem is you will forget to use it until you get used to playing as him, so prepare to die a lot more. And that's another thing about him. Since he does so much more damage, it feels like people focus me a lot more. It's not like I'm really great as Raynor, it's just he's really powerful. I saw somebody mention that he does like Vala damage now, and that's pretty accurate actually. His Give Him Some Pepper trait really gives him a lot of punch, as well as the way that you can talent it up to make him like a literal hero crusher. It's amazing. So he also has some really strong wave clear, which was always one of his strong points, but that even is a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more fun. He also has a new ult, which is same thing, Raynor's Raiders. Banshee comes down, except it's just one, and this time it does not expire, it follows you around. If it dies, it respawns after, I think it's like 45 seconds. Pretty good stuff, actually. It does a little bit more damage, it feels like. Honestly, all this stuff is coming off the top of my head. I can't remember because I never played him because he was so freaking boring. Now, he's a lot more fun. The Banshees are definitely his new hero-focused ultimate because they can actually do quite a bit of damage combined with your own attack. You can use them to scout, like Scout Bush. You can use them to chase because they're faster than you. And of course he got a bunch of new skins for the Warchrome theme, which have like new voiceovers and stuff. And I have to say, I was a little skeptical. I was like, oh, he looks like a cross between Ghost Rider and that Rick and Morty Rick Mancing the Stone episode. Actually, you know what he looks like? He looks like Army of Two and Ghost Rider had a baby. And it is super edgy. But that said, super cool skin. I love the new voiceover. I actually really like the voiceover for him. So, easily my favorite part of the skin. I highly recommend picking him up. It's like 700 shards. Worth it. Definitely worth it.
Asking the impossible, kid.
So let's jump in. Let's talk about his talent, since this is a Raynor video overall. I've never done one on him, so if you're just picking him up for the first time, as I imagine a lot of people are, because it's not exciting, I want to give you an idea of what you can do with him and how to play him. So, his Q is Penetrating Round, which is a pushback and it slows. This can be upgraded to kind of increase the slow, increase the range. I mean, I can see uses for it situationally, but generally speaking, if you're going to go hero hunting, you're going to trait or Give Him Some Pepper. Really your only escape, and it's not very good at that because it is a skill shot, it doesn't stun, and it doesn't knock him back super far. It's not like Muradin's Punch. That is something that you need to be aware of with Raynor. He does not have a very good escape. So if you get in over your head, you're probably gonna die. You're gonna die a lot learning to play him. Just get used to it. His W is Inspire. This is activatable that it used to cause heroes to do 50% increased attack speed as well as minions. Heroes are no longer affected by this until you talent into that later, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But this is his most effective wave clear, because you literally drop into a group of your minions, use Inspire, and you guys can tear down a keep in no time. So perfect. It's also useful for team fights. Obviously, anytime you attack faster and move faster, better for you. So very useful trait. Adrenaline Rush, again, that's his heal over time. Activatable now. Pretty straightforward. It's his survival. You can talent your Give Him Some Pepper to heal you, and it heals more when used against heroes. If you feel like that's a good choice for you, there are other survivability traits on that tier, so whatever you kind of feel like is working for you, but this is his primary heal. Finally, you have his two R's, Raynor's Raiders, which drops down a Banshee to follow you around permanently. It respawns when it dies, or you can use the Hyperion, which is the directed AoE kind of clear. It'll destroy minions, it'll destroy towers, keeps, buildings, shoot heroes, whatever. It doesn't do a lot of damage against heroes, so using it in team fights, not very useful. Using it to chase runners, again, not very useful because it has a circle that everyone can see. You step in the circle, you might get shot because it's kind of random. It shoots something whenever there's something in the circle. It'll prioritize heroes, I believe, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to hit the one you want. And finally, his trait, Give Him Some Pepper. Every 4th shot does bonus damage and an AoE, like I mentioned earlier. However, this can be talented to become insanely powerful. That's where we're going to start talking about his builds. Basically, he has 2. The Hero Hunter, or I call it the Pepper build, focuses on takedowns and high damage to heroes. So basically, anytime you see the trait in your little choice, you're going to click on that. It's very powerful, especially when talented. It'll do more damage, it'll slow, it will heal you. Just great stuff. It's very useful, and again, this is the bulk of where Raynor's damage is going to come from. He's very much an auto attack hero, and that used to be super boring because all you would do is auto attack and you got nothing for it. You will get focused a lot more because he hits hard now. So his other one is a push build. This is good if you're laning alone, if you already have some good assassins but you don't have good wave clear, you don't have some specialists. He can easily fill that role, and pretty much with this one, you're going to want to take talents that improve Inspire, improve your stay in lane, anything that lets you push harder, stay longer. At level 7 you can choose Fuel the Rush, which increases the adrenaline rush cooldown reduction, which is great for taking, like when you shoot stuff, it reduces that. For 10, obviously you want to do Hyperion. 13, this is more of a movement thing. I'll usually take Rallying Cry for my Pepper build, but for a push build, Debilitating Rounds. And finally, what I want to talk about is his level 20 traits. So his Give Him Some Pepper lowers the cooldown of Hyperion by 5 seconds if the primary target is a hero. Inspire grants Raynor Unstoppable for 2 seconds, makes him quite powerful if you've taken Hyperion, especially if you're laning against a hero and you're pushing. Very useful. Raynor's Raiders basically just makes them more powerful, and when they die you get Adrenaline Rush and Inspire cast on you for free. Pretty cool. But I would still go with Weak Spot Acquired, which improves Give Them Some Pepper, which reduces enemy armor. Always perfect, you know what I mean? Execute, I don't really see a need for it, honestly, at level 20. Overall, my thoughts on Raynor. I think that he is way more fun now. He's much more powerful. He's a lot more dynamic. He's actually fun to play for the first time, and he feels like he can do some real damage. He actually feels like an assassin. He feels valuable on the team now. Before, he was just sort of like, you pick him if you had like a team comp and you guys were all playing around with like a bunch of friends, and you're like, I like StarCraft. That was Raynor, you know what I mean? And then you quickly switch after that match. You're like, dude, that guy sucks. we've all had that group. So I love the updates. I think they've done a great job. I love the new skins. They're freaking great. I mean, what more can I say about them? I'm really blown away by this update. I think they did an excellent job. They made Raynor fun again, which is, I guess, kind of the goal. You know what I mean? So I want you to log in, check them out, tell me what you think in the comments below. As always, I'm Hurdle. This is my gaming channel. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the Nexus.